Hello everyone, and welcome to a very special Christmas episode of my channel. Who doesn't love a good Christmas special? No, not that one. No, definitely not that one. But any other one you can think of. Charlie Brown Christmas, the normal Grinch That Stole Christmas that was based only off of the book and nothing else. A Star Wars Christmas? Yeah, I'll take it. I love Christmas a lot. I also respect everybody's holidays. You don't have to love Christmas as much as I do. Other religions exist, and people who were even raised in homes that celebrated Christmas may not like Christmas, which is also fine. Anyway, not trying to force Christmas down anybody's throat. I just personally love Christmas, and I really, really love theater. This year has been a doozy for a lot of people, and one of the biggest groups that have been affected by coronavirus is live theater performances. Musicians, actors, dancers, technicians are the biggest ones, comedians. So many people have been affected by this pandemic. But that means that these performance spaces are struggling. We don't get to go out to the local comedy club and buy a bunch of drinks. We don't get to go to theaters and watch touring Broadway shows. And those people who work in those places are the ones that are suffering right now. I mean, we're suffering because we don't get to be around people and we don't get to see shows, and we're suffering too, but they're suffering more in that context. A lot of people who work in theaters also work in customer service, so they're really struggling right now. I was just thinking about this after Thanksgiving and thinking how sad it was and how much I really wanted to see a good Christmas show, like White Christmas or Miracle on 34th Street, and I couldn't. So I wanted to do a little something for my local theaters. Listed down below in the description, there are going to be a bunch of links to local theaters in my state of Vermont. If you live in Vermont or work in Vermont or love seeing theater in Vermont, please think about donating to these local theater spaces so that when coronavirus is finally kicked in the butt, we can all go to a show. I'm including theaters and live performance spaces, dancers, actors, singers, everybody, jugglers, mostly technicians. I'm really worried about you guys, but everybody could use just a little bit extra this holiday season. I will say that before you give to them, give to soup kitchens, because that's really important, and food and shelter, very important right now. But if you have a little extra after that, think about giving to your local theater space. In the spirit of the holiday, I attempted to gather a few of my theater friends from around the state to do a little song and dance for you. Unfortunately, a lot of them were very busy right now, and also it's kind of hard to do a dance number by yourself in your living room. So completely valid. But I was able to scrounge up at least 2 people besides myself who are willing to showcase their amazing talents in hopes that you will help local theaters. On the docket tonight, we have the amazing Tina Frimmel. If you haven't seen her in Vermont, then you must have seen her in New York when she was there before the pandemic hit. She is a very funny person. I've been doing theater with her since we were teenagers, and we've known each other since our moms were pregnant, so technically my oldest friend. We also have Steve Small. Yes, my dad, Steve Small. He's been in the local theater scene for a long time. He's also done a lot of work in Hollywood. If you've ever seen a Middlebury Actors Workshop show, you might have probably seen him and Harry McInerney in it. He will be doing a little something for us at the very end. But first, of course, since it's my video and most of you know my face, I had to do something other than MC, unfortunately, because there's nothing else to kind of fill it out. I was really trying to avoid it. I know you don't really want to hear me talk or sing or do anything for too long, so sorry about that. But my grandmother, who passed away at the beginning of the year, before everything crazy happened, she loved to hear me sing, especially Christian songs. So bear with me through this Christian song. I know if you are Jewish or you celebrate Kwanzaa or solstice, I get it, but this is really just for her. So I hope you enjoy. Mary, did you know that your baby boy would someday walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would save our sons and daughters? Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? This child that you delivered will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy would give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will calm a storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? When you kiss your little baby, then you kiss the face of God. The blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead will live again. The lame will leap, the dumb will speak, the praises of the Lamb. Mary, did you know that your baby boy is Lord of all creation? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will one day rule the nation? Did you know that your baby boy was heaven's perfect lamb? The sleeping child you're holding is the great I am. You may know me from my TikToks or my YouTube channel, and you may think, she's kind of funny, that's why I subscribed. Yeah, well, I did manage to find someone funnier than me. I know, crazy. Tina Frimmel is a local comedian who, again, I've known for a very long time, and she is going to do some very, very funny stand-up for you and talk a little bit about theater and performance spaces. Thank you so much, Tina.
Hello, Tina Frimmel here from the lost art form of stand-up comedy. What a year it's been, right? Like, what a wreck. My hair faded back into blonde. Other stuff happened. It's just been a nightmare of a year, right? And I had moved out to New York last year. The Big Apple, right? But now I'm back in Vermont. I just kind of figured I'd rather be afraid of bears than COVID, you know? I can see a bear coming, right? But, you know, I hate this. I hate all of this. Like, I hate this, you know? Virtual comedy. Like, if I wanted to say hilarious things to no reaction whatsoever, I would have just stayed living at home with my mom and dad. But what can you do? You can complain all you want, but just here we are, alive. And that's all that we can be thankful for. I will complain though, okay? I mean, I miss everything. Like, I miss bars. And yeah, I go to bars, okay? I'm just like you. I've got good days and bad days. And whenever I do have a bad day and I just want to disappear, I go out, you know, I go to a bar. Not to drink, okay, but to be around other people who have been drinking. I just blend right in, right? And like I usually judge a club based on what the bouncer thinks I'm on, you know? I admit, like, I am kind of a trick question to balance it is. Like, I'm a bit of a riddle, you know? My mouth says booze, right? But my hands say cocaine. What am I? uh, I was having a lot of fun out in New York, though. I was really having, like, the authentic New York experience, right? Like, I found a knife in a subway station. And I'm not talking like a pocket knife. I've seen a pocket knife, but like a full, like, do damage big boy, right? So I picked it up. I mean, souvenir, right? And what I quickly found out was there is no unominous way to hold a knife, right? So, like, I held it, like, blade down. People got nervous. So I kind of, like, gripped it in my fist and blade backwards and just uniformly started walking. People got even more nervous. I held it like a pen and people got even more nervous than that. I quickly found out that the most non-threatening way to carry a knife from point A to point B is give it to a child and let them carry it. Everyone loves kids, you know? What's made this year go from bad to just unbearable is watching my favorite places on this earth, theaters, struggle so much to just stay alive after all of this. We need theaters after all this more than ever. More than maybe ever in our whole life. So please, please, if you have the means to do so, donate to your favorite theater or comedy club or venue or gallery and just make sure that once this is all over, because it will be all over soon, we'll have a place to pop the champagne.
Thank you so much, Tina. Very, very funny, obviously. She's hilarious. Once everything opens back up, I'm sure you can catch her down at the Vermont Comedy Club in Burlington. You folks are probably sick of hearing me sing and talk, which is completely valid. So let's move right along and finish up this little video. Here is Steve Small doing his version, well, the Vermont version of The Night Before Christmas.
'Twas the night afore Christmas, and down there to my place, I just finished wrapping my Aunt Mabel's mace. The kids were to bed, sleeping fast till 'fore dawn, when they'll rip open presents that'll break on the lawn. Who is this Santa? I says to my wife. It makes you spend money you can't earn in one life. Why, if I was to get that fat elf in my sights, I'd squeeze hard on the trigger. I'd put out his lights. Oh, stop your whining and put down that beer, she said, wrapping presents. Stick your finger right here. 'Bout 12 o'clock, we're done, she did smile, as under the tree stood the Christmas box pile. Later that night, I heard a rap on the ceiling. Red squirrels and wiring. I had a bad feeling. I jumped out of bed, grabbed my trusty Winchester. I says to the wife, I ain't one to pester. The motion detector kicked on at the barn. I couldn't believe what I saw on the lawn. 'Twas a little red elf laying flat in the snow. He stood and he winked with a ho, 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 ho. Then he floated right up to his sleigh on the shed. I sighted right in, a clear shot to his head. But my eye, it went blurry. I can't tell you just why. Before I could clear it, he'd become the night sky. I went back to bed. 'Twas getting quite late. I didn't see nothing. Must been something I ate. 10 in the morning. The den has been trashed. Amy's Barbie's one-legged now. Billy's big wheel is smashed. I looked all around. Is that all there is? Wait. On the uppermost bough, what is this? 'Twas a hand-carved box in a most obscure place. I opened it, my jaw about fell off my face. 'Twas a scope, 3 to 9 power, a fine one, you bet. But nobody knew what I wanted to get. The note in the box made me burst out with cheer. To Papa, from Santa, good hunting next year.
Hilarious. If you're a Vermonter, you'll get it. If you're not a Vermonter, that's what a Vermonter's like. Most of them, half of them, a lot of them, and we love them. I really, really appreciate anybody who's watched the video. If you don't have any extra cash to spare, but you do want to help the cause, watching this video could really help. The more views we get, the larger audience we will also get. And that means more money, not only for performance spaces in Vermont, but hopefully it'll make connections out throughout the states, California maybe, and then local theaters there can also get some support from patrons. Patrons who definitely probably miss going to shows, doing something, get out of the house, anything, seeing people, anything. I'm just gonna share another reminder. Please, please, please click those links below. Even if you don't have any money to donate, just check out what they're doing, what they're trying to do. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. I hope you had a wonderful Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and solstice. And I hope, knock on wood, that we all have a fantastic new year. Thank you.